But imagine sometimes it's feeling like there's only 2 days in the week. Yesterday was Monday, and look at them Friday afternoon. So hear that. Do you have a talent or skill that you can turn into a business idea? Well, don't sleep on you, my youth. Get your business started today. The Youth Economy Agency will guide you. Provide funding. Yes, sister, provide funding. Plus training to run your business profitably. Yo, go online now to start living the St. Lucian dream. Just one click and boom, you're in business.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Welcome to Youth Unplugged, brought to you by the Youth Economy Agency, or Yeah, or Yeah. I am your host, Miguel Fevrier, and thank you for joining me on another Thursday afternoon on RCI, Radio Caribbean International, the Caribbean Sound. And I have a very special guest here with me today. But before I introduce her, like I always do, I'd like to start with a random fact. But this time, this fact is not so random. We just received news this week that the unemployment rate for St. Lucia has for the first time reached single digits, and that's 8.8%. And allow me to give a plug to our sponsors, the Youth Economy Agency, for being part of that. Because as you know, the Youth Economy Agency is responsible for assisting or facilitating our young entrepreneurs who have hobbies, turn them into business ideas, or those who have business ideas as well, turn them into actual tangible businesses. And our unemployment rate, I can say, has as much as it's reduced. We can thank the Youth Economy Agency, among other agencies and policies, which have allowed for people to create their own employment and employ other people. So hats off to our sponsors, Youth Economy Agency, Crystal, Brian, and everybody else over there. Now, to get to my guest, this afternoon I have a very special guest, and for me, I'm very excited because she's into at least two things I love: food and fun. Food and fun. And with me today is Miss Crea John. Miss, I hope I have it right. It's
Yes,
Miss
you
Crea
do.
John, and she is a seasoned entrepreneur and professional from the Westall Group in VA4. Big up VA4. With nearly a decade of entrepreneurial experience, Ms. John has showcased her versatility by working across various industries throughout her career, including roles as a cashier, baker, cook, office clerk, secretary, events worker, and assistant. Prior to entrepreneurial endeavors, Ms. John gained valuable experience as a technical baker slash quality assurance assistant and sole female miller at Caribbean Grains Flour Mill. Her diverse background has equipped her with a well rounded skill set and a deep understanding of various business operations. Now, I'm not going to go into the bio, otherwise, we'll have not much to speak about, but you need to know that she is among her many ventures. She's the owner and proprietor of Crease Catering, Crease Events Planning, that's the fun part, and decor, and the newly established Crease Grab and Go. Try and give KFC competition. Additionally, she serves as the marketing manager and co-owner of JC's Honey Production, further diversifying her entrepreneurial portfolio. Now, the professional development part, I want to get to that at some point because I need to ask. I didn't ask, but please tell our listeners and viewers how old you are.
I'm 34 years old.
34.
Yes.
And I'm looking at the bio and there's so many certificates and stuff gained as well. But forget that for now. Welcome, Crea,
Thank
to the show.
you.
It's great, really great to have you. And like I said, you're into things that I love. So, first of all, tell us about yourself, where you're from, where you grew up, and how you got into what you're doing.
Okay, I'm from the town of Beaufort, Western Group, like you mentioned earlier, and I always had a passion for baking, cooking, and decorating from a young age. My vision was always to be an entrepreneur from day one, to be a business owner, you would say a boss lady.
Boss.
And so I started from a very young age. I'm from a family where my family have bakers, there are cooks in my family. My mother baked, my grandparents, especially my grandmother on my father's side, was a baker.
Mhm.
Yes, she loves cooking.
So
So
you can make real bread.
yes,
Okay.
I do. And so I got that passion from a very young age. And being from the town of Beaufort, I wanted to be somebody who can inspire young persons from Beaufort so that persons would have that, I would say, that hype that they can make it, they can do it, no matter where you're from, no matter
Mhm.
your family background or the background that you come from. I started my business at the age of 25.
Wow.
Yes. I was employed at the hotel industry for from since 2011.
And that was in within the culinary arts field.
Yes,
Okay.
I was a cook at the establishment, and whilst I was a cook, I always used to go to the bakery. I made friends with the guy at the bakery, and he tested my skills.
Mm.
And he always told me that it's always wise to push myself forward.
Mhm.
Don't stay in the hotel industry. I can make it. I can do it. Try it. And I started it off in 2016, thereabout. Actually, Crease Catering, just in 9 years,
Wow.
last month
Wow.
on the 16th. And Crease Events Planning, I brought it up and established it during the time of COVID.
Mm. Mm. And that would actually be kind of a specified kind of thing, considering all the policies and all the protocols that we have had to abide to during COVID. So you have to some specialized kind of planning for events. Yeah.
Yes. And my main focus on my events is to be a digital events person. So you can be wherever you are and you want to get your message, your thing across, your event across. I can also do it digital for you.
Marketing.
So digital marketing was the main reason I went into studying digital marketing.
Wow. No, speaking of studying, you appear to be quite a Renaissance woman, having to go over your bio. Professional development. That's before we even get into the the nitty gritty of your businesses, right? I've I couldn't stop reading. You've garnered so many certificates and not necessarily related to each other. Um, Basically. So just give us an idea of some of the certification and qualifications you have gained whilst you've been, of course, running your businesses.
Um, my the one I just gained is business continuity planning.
Mm,
So when you have a business, you have to have a plan, a vision. If you're no longer there, how your business is gonna run. So I just acquired that certification 2 weeks back. I
mm,
finished it off, and I'm doing a new course starting off next week.
mhm.
In guess what?
I can't broadcast.
VA technician.
Oh wow, we you hearing that, folks? We have I said it a while ago. It's half jest, halfway jest, but it was real. You have a real Renaissance woman who's into everything,
For me,
everything.
I would say I've skilled myself in various fields because it incorporates with my business,
Hmm.
both of my businesses that I established, and also I want to be a freelancer where I can help young entrepreneurs in different aspects they might be short of.
Now, speaking of young entrepreneurs, in fact, we'll get to that. Let me put a comma on that. Let's get to just telling people, the public, what type of services that your business provide, your businesses, your varying businesses provide. Excuse me.
Okay, Crease Catering is mainly on catering for events, for weddings, for different functions where I do cakes. I also do full menus for your wedding, funeral, any party that you have.
Mm-hmm.
My events planning and decor is where I would be the event planner for you. If you're looking for just an event planner to go out to get your sound system, get a venue for you, get um all what you need for your event. If you want me to just be the decor person, I would be the person to decor the place, decorate the place for you. I do that as well. If you want both of my services, you get both.
Boss, you're a one-stop shop. One-stop shop. I like that. I love that. I love that. And you, when you say catering, let's talk about your staffing complement. Do you, how did you start with this, and have you expanded your business throughout the years that you've had it?
Well, I started with just me,
Mm-hmm.
and it was just me doing everything, and then now I have seasonal workers, where if the event has 300% or more, there are persons that I call, and we work together. Yes.
Wow. All right. So going back to the point where we put the comma, we spoke about being able to mentor and help young people. Uh, I do know, and the public may or may not know, that you are also a beneficiary of those types of services through the Youth Economy Agency, who is also the sponsor of this show. But um, without just having to give them a plug, and not for the reason of just giving them a plug, tell us about your experience with the Youth Economy Agency, how you started, and what they've been able to do for you so far.
Okay, I would say I'm a baby of youth economy.
Wow.
The baby of youth economy when youth economy first opened up its doors. Actually, it came about where a client I worked for traveled to the US, and then she contacted me, told me that, hey, what you're doing is great. I think this would benefit you. I saw something come up. Somebody told me about it, youth economy. Applied, try your luck. I thought twice about it because it was new. But after, I would say, when I applied, I got the call a couple months after, which I was not expecting to get the
Hmm.
call. I will not lie. I got the call and I was asked to come in. They need to see me. They need more information. And from since then, I've been with Youth Economy.
You've been
Since
with Youth
yes,
Economy.
Youth Economy first helped me off in purchasing some equipment which I needed at the time,
Hmm.
for my business, which was my tables, my chairs. I did not have that at the time. That was the first help for me. And after that, the trainings they have sent out to me, let me know that it's available to apply. I've applied for almost all of them.
So that would come with a certification that you have.
Additional
Right.
additional certificates to what I have accomplished
Not
beyond them. And I just finished QuickBooks with them. Yes, the first part I did it, and the second part we just wrap it off. So Youth Economy have been a great help to me and to my business. And through Youth Economy, I have met a lot of other young entrepreneurs like myself, and it have opened up my my scope
mhm.
through Youth Economy. I have met clients who told me that they see I protecting youth economy stuff and they would like to get my services sent out to them. So I would say youth economy have helped me and I know they have helped many other persons and I say big up to them.
Okay. Now, you owe me, and you may owe us here at RCI, because you came highly recommended as, like you said, a baby of the youth economy. In fact, you were the first person I called. But then you stood me up a few weeks ago
Yes.
because you had to. I want you to finish it,
I
because,
was
and that's the only
taking
reason I
part
excuse you.
in the X4 in Viewport with Export Solution.
There you go. I saw Marine. As soon as you walked in, Marine recognized you because she was the host. As you asked that. Then, so how did that expo Oh, and did you probably gain any new clients, and what was the experience like for you?
Well, the experience was very new to me. It was another scope, I should say.
Hmm.
Last year, Export Solution invited me to be one of the females for International Women's Day,
The
and
mhm.
they sent out to me. I would say big up to the person who contacted me. For he was my mentor
Mm. You can
through
say
youth
you can
economy.
say his name. It's
Through youth
fine.
economy, he became my mentor, which is Jason Badal.
Oh, Jason. Oh,
Yes.
my big up. I know him very well. Big up, Jason. That's my classmate, my schoolmate and classmate from college.
Yes. He was my mentor through youth economy when they had the mentorship program.
Mm-hmm.
And from then we have kept that contact up until now.
Sure, before.
So before. And he sent out, he did not tell me it's going to happen. He called me the day and he said, Crea, I put you down for the expo.
So find yourself there.
So make it happen. So I made it happen. And on that day, I actually came out with two products, which I just launched it out. Persons were wondering how comes. It was my pumpkin punch
Mm.
and my ripe plantain cake.
Well, right, planting. My
Yes,
wife would love that.
that's the
Mhm.
vegan side, eggless.
Mm. Okay.
So that was the two things which I put out, and within that time, I got a lot of customers, clients. It was new to them.
All right.
It
All
was
right.
supposed to be a tester, but it became what I planned for. I had to extend on it.
I'll send you the pin to my dad's office. So you'll drop my piece over there. And
No
I
problem.
hope he doesn't eat it before I get it. Now, that said, um, mentioned export St. Lucia, and it's funny. 2 weeks ago, we had Mrs. Crystal Riviere, who was the COO of the Youth Economy Agency. And again, like I said, as you the baby, you were the first name she mentioned when I asked about when I mentioned we had a discussion about opportunities for export of your products outside of St. Lucia, whether it be regionally or on the Caribbean, on outside international stage. She did mention you as one of them. Can you tell us about how that export of your products outside of St. Lucia has been going? And how did you get into that?
Okay. Also, it came down to through my mentor when he got to know that I had honey as well. I was
Mm-hmm.
involved in the honey, and when I told him who was the person, he told me, "Oh, he know him, and he know the honey." And him, I would say, the first time person
Mm-hmm.
to export honey out of Saint Lucia. My export market has gone good, I
Mm.
must say. And from then, I think that honey has been the top
Yes.
because this honey also won the England Honey Show last year.
Wow, folks, I hope you are applauding right now. We're applauding St. Lucia, we're applauding Korea. We won the Honey Expo show in the UK last year.
Yes, and the name you would get with the honey is Benson Clark.
Vincent Clark,
Yes, Jake.
Jack, say family, yes. Jack, say family, yes. I actually did see the piece with Jack recently. Come to think of it, I'm getting old, so that's a different. So I tend to forget things.
Yes.
Wow, 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 wow. And what markets do you export to right now?
The market is St. Martin,
Mm.
and like you told me yesterday, we just got a call to export our honey just next to our neighbor next side.
Martinique? No, Dominique. Where?
St. Vincent.
St. Vincent. Oh, wow, wow. That's
So
that's that's
that
surprising.
is something I have to work on pretty soon.
Wow, that's
I have to do the marketing and everything pretty soon.
that's amazing. Uh, I'll get to something which, of course, I would ask every guest to business owner and everything. I think it should be a standard. Could you speak to some of the challenges that you have faced throughout the years, how you overcame them, and just so the young people listening. On that note, let me just shout out some of the bus drivers who are carrying our students right now, and the parents who pick up the students who may be listening to this. This is a wonderful show for you to listen to and get some insight from our youth entrepreneurs and those who excel in all areas of endeavor on solution. So, sorry, speak to the challenges.
Um, I will not say it has been easy for me because when I first started off, it was like when I brought my idea about persons who I've got a couple doors closed because I was a female.
Mm.
Couple doors have closed because of the area from View Fort. Yes, it.
Wow.
I've faced that challenge and overcome it. Have not let it put me down. Before I used to say to myself, it seems I will not make it. But I've always kept that mindset where one door closes, another door will open, or you create your own opportunity. And I've excelled in creating my own opportunity.
Obviously.
Yes.
Obvious.
You will not get, I would say, in going into being an entrepreneur, starting off something, you will not always get that welcoming feeling
Hmm.
because a lot of people don't welcome new things. If you're accustomed to one thing, you will not want to shift. So you have to be persistent. You have to have that drive. You have to have that passion. The more, I would say, the more persons tell you you will not make it, it is the better for you to try
Push.
to push through. You might try making a cake and the cake might not come out the right. You don't stop.
Hmm.
You start back from scratch. You check what you did that was wrong and you overcome that, you change it around. You will not get the door always open. You have to pass through, or I would say jump through the window. Yes. So you have to push through. For the young persons coming up, I would say when I just started, youth economy was not around.
Mm. Boy, tell me about it. I thought you fed why vex.
And like I told a young person earlier on, it's this now youth economy will push me out because the age is going to wrap up very soon.
Hmm.
And it's the opportunity now for young persons to start.
I so agree. I so agree. And Mr. Prime Minister Brian, Mr. Vidal, the CEO of Youth Economy, and of course, Mr. Thomas Lee as the chairman. I hope you're listening. I hope y'all know I like to call you because y'all start that this whole thing came about. This policy decision came about. Today. Um, how you say you employ people part time, seasonal, and that kind of thing. With the employment, there's something I want to. You spoke about the challenges. People tend to give up. Some people tend to give up in the face of challenges and these kind of things. I want to speak about our young people because someone close to me had said that you know he put ads out and even having the interviews with the young people, you realize that they are not ready yet. Some of the responses, some of the questions that you ask, and these kind of things. What do you think plays a role in the view by some of our young people that she just get easy? Okay, sorry. Let me put this simply. There is a saying that there's a lack of work ethic among our young people. Do you agree? And if so, what do you think would contribute to that?
Yes, I will not lie. There is. I have seen it come across because I have spoken to quite a lot of young people. I interact with young people mostly all the time, and they would tell you, they'll think about it. They'll see they cannot go to a 9 to 5 and wait so long for
Mm.
them to get paid. They will find it's too much work for them to do to get paid. And I always tell them, it's you have to start somewhere.
You
You
started many
have
places.
to start somewhere.
You started many places according to your
Yes.
resume.
You have to try everything. You have to. If you're not there to push out yourself, nobody will push you. You have to have that work ethic. You have to have that driven sense of working, being adaptable to things. I would say some of the young persons who feel that have that laser fear is some of them the parents cause it.
Mm. You want to expand on that?
Some of I would say some parents would say they had it hard growing up. They
Mm-hmm.
don't want the child to have it hard. So they tend to try
Over spoil.
to overspoil them, to give them everything, to try and look for the opportunity for them, to make them feel okay, things are okay. But there are times you have to let your kids know it's not easy to get everything.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty valuable lesson. The fact that you have to work for something is not just expecting people around you because they will not always be there. Whether it be your parents, your friends, relatives, these kinds of things, they'll not always be there. We have a few more minutes left, Kriya. What would you say has been the biggest influence? You didn't mention your mentor, but the biggest influence, the biggest factor um, at play in your current success?
My father.
Dad. Your daddy's girl, just like I'm daddy's boy.
My dad have always taught me that I have to push and I have to be able to overcome challenges.
Hmm.
And I always have to push forward. So my dad have always been my support system. If I have a problem with something, I'll go to my dad.
Okay.
When I was starting with my business, I went to him, told him I was going to start.
Mhm.
And along the way, every course, every training, everything I have done, the first person I would call is my father.
Mm.
To let him
Interesting.
know I'm doing that, I'm thinking of doing that, I'm moving to Castries or anything that I'm doing.
And and do you possibly just take his advice? He says, "I don't think you should do that," or whatever. How do you react to that?
He have honestly, he have never tell me don't do it.
Mm.
He have always tell me try.
Okay. Wow.
He have always told me to try. If it fail, find another way to do it. He have always told me
That's
that.
interesting. And if my dad's listening right now, you should take that approach instead of giving me all kinds of logics and things. And let's look at it. Nah, I'm just joking. But
Yes.
I like that. I like the fact that when you into business and you still seek the advice of those you have relied on and everything. Um, that said, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? Well, I should say yourselves because you have so many businesses.
In the next 5 years, I would say I'll be running my empire.
Running your empire. Oh my, you have kids?
No, not as yet.
No, that's it. Okay, so you better start getting ready for an empire. Yeah?
Yes. So I see myself in the next 5 years where my all my businesses are well established. I've employed persons and I can have couple persons under my wings that I can train them
Mm.
to add to excel for themselves.
Yeah, so you're not one of those selfish ones who figure out take them and exploit them, let them work for me and to give them a chance
For
to go
me,
do
I
their own.
always believe persons need to grow.
Yeah.
No matter where you work, even if you're working for me, with me, you need to grow. I cannot keep you all the time. You have to go off where I can bring in somebody else, train them, and sometimes I send them to you because I see what they're great at.
It's just so amazing hearing the way you speak and just knowing what you've accomplished at only 34 years old. I can imagine myself almost 10 years ago at 34. And I I don't can't imagine having to have explored so many and even sometimes probably given up. And if something may not have gone my way, I probably would have given up and that kind of thing. So, Kriya, it's so good to hear about your successes, and we here at RCI and of course the Youth Economy Agency wish you all the best. I hope that we can bring you on before you turn 35 to let us know about the next business venture and that kind of thing. And with that, are there any final thoughts that you'd like to add or leave our audience with?
First off, I would say I am inspired to my brothers. I have two brothers, and my older brother he works full time, but he also does his DJ and stuff
Mm,
as well. And my little brother is looking up to me. I know as
mhm.
his everything I would post and stuff. He always says pick up his sister. He's a barber in Few Fort. He has his barber shop, and I always encourage him. So I'm going to say out to the young persons. It doesn't matter where you start. You can start by selling sweets. Buy
Mm.
the sweets, and you can change the wrapper.
It's funny you say that. I can't remember where I was. I know it was somewhere in Castries. And this little boy, school was out, there was sports and everything from VA4. And he came up here. He was on the boulevard. Oh, White Dilemma. And
Okay.
he came into White Dilemma. He was selling his sweets and his chocolates and these things. And he says he does it all the time. I say, all the way to Castries. By the time he sell at the paint bus, he said, don't worry, he's good.
But when I
No,
started,
I'm not
you know
saying
what
that
I'm
by the
saying?
time you sell a few sweets, that's your bus money gone. But that was just me thinking at the time, talking to him and saying, but then he seems to know what he is about, and he was 15. So I was really happy. It was really refreshing to see that. You know.
Yes. I started off, and when I starting off my cakes and stuff, my small clientele were from Castries.
Mm.
During COVID, I started the pop-up shop where COVID season was out. A friend of mine and we leave you for it. We were by the roundabout. We came up to Castries. We found out, okay, we have to have our own tent. During COVID, money had to run,
Can
so we
can you share just one piece, one tenth of your brain with me, please?
so you have to be innovative.
Yes, I agree. I agree, my
You have
dad.
to be innovative. You have to be creative.
And that's what the youth has been known for. Of course, innovation starts from the youth. So every new changes, advances, of course, usually come with youth trying to adapt to what's there now and try to make it, they want to make it easier for them. So once again, before I even say goodbye, just let me shout out everybody on the live. Vern Joseph, Spice nailed it, says you go girl. And we have a mutual friend Chani who she says should be here watching. I haven't seen her, but I'm sure she's watching. This is the Youth Economy Agency. I also forgot any questions for our guests. You could have sent them to us. But this was a very riveting discussion. I wish we had more time. But I know, and I hope I will keep in touch with you, and you will keep in touch with us,
Yes,
and
I
let us know
will.
all your advances, and we'll give you a little shout out. I'd like to thank our sponsors once again, the Youth Economy Agency, and of course, Radio Caribbean International. This was Crea John. And before we go, Crea, can we give us your social media handles so that those listening can know?
Is you'll get Crease Catering.
Spell that for them.
It's CRE Catering.
Mm-hmm.
And for the Crease Events Planning and Decor, it's CRE Events Planning and Decor.
The correct spelling they call the French way.
Is DECOR.
There you go. All right. Thank you very much, my darling, for joining us on the show. I really loved it. And this has been Youth Unplugged with me, Miguel Fevrier, on the Caribbean Sound Radio Caribbean International. And join me here next Wednesday for Letla as usual. Hopefully, Iowa will be back as well to join me. And of course, Thursday with another young, successful St. Lucian for Youth Unplugged. Goodbye. Until next week.